Hey guys, welcome back to Favorite Iron and Customs. It's Michael. We're back on the 50. I came out here last night and welded the two parts of the inner seal together. I had a video where I made those. You can buy these from Shoebox Central, but you have to have two for each side because I think they come in like 3-foot lengths. So I made them. This is pretty much the maximum that the Harbor Freight vendor wants to handle, making these bends, and I've got some modifications I want to do to the bender to try to get a little better bends. But this stuff is, you know, under the car. Nobody's going to see it except for you guys watching the video. And so right now what I'm doing is I've just shot this hammered paint on it, just some rust paint on the inside and the outside. I've got down where it's going to weld in the car and painted that. I didn't use the hammered paint, I just used some black paint because it's going to be covered over. And we're going to let that dry, and then we're gonna let this dry and hopefully get a chance to put it in tonight. Now, what I want to do tonight, I'd love to get a couple of things done. I don't think that I'm going to get a couple of what I want to get done. I would like to make this piece for the B pillar, which I think is going to be a whole lot easier than I made it when I made it for the other side. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I want to cut out the body mount and make, this is actually the second body mount on the car. It goes right there and welds to the inside of the inner seal or inner rocker panel, you know, depending on what side of the world you're on or what they call it in your neck of the woods. So that's what I'm going to work on while, and man, that floor was rough. I wish I knew why I thought this car was in better shape than it was, but you know, it is what it is. So if you go back and watch, I did a whole video on making this part on this side of the car. If you go back, I did not know about that little window because it was totally rotted out and gone. Wish I'd done this side of the car first. I'd have a little more information to go off of on making that. These parts are available, so you know, I think they were 80, 90 bucks a piece, you know, so they are available at Shoebox Central. But you know, we're doing this, we're having fun, we're making stuff here in the shop, and I think what I used was a piece of 14 gauge. Let me see if I can find it. Alright guys, there's my piece of steel. It's actually 16 gauge. It's the same thickness as best I can tell this is. 14 gauge will probably be fine. You know, like I said, I think this is 16, so that's what we're going with. And I found my template from last time. So I made this template to fit the long side and give me a little more to bend over on the end. If I can zoom in on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and figure out how much more this way, and I'm going to try to put that in the brake and break it, rather than what I did last time was I welded it here, and both of these seams. And if I can break this in the brake, then you know, that'll save me a good bit of welding. So let's get this piece made. I've actually still got the I think that's probably the correct shape for the cutout for the top, so we're going and cut that out and cut them other two pieces out, but leave them probably an inch longer but we're going to measure it and see. So I'm going to do some measuring. We're going to cut some stuff. When we come back, we're going to have some pieces cut out. All right, guys, I got the pieces cut out. I ended up having to scribe. I scribed that one on the wrong side to bend it, and ended up using a hammer to do this one, and it was all the bender wanted to do to try to bend that even scribed. So I'm still going to come along and do some welding to give those, make sure that the strength is there where I cut the scribes. I think I'm just going to shoot some tacks on the inside. It's a little long here. I'm just going to leave it long. That'll give me plenty to weld to when I put the floor back in. So I'm going to weld these up, and we're going to see where we're going to go. This, well, of course, this always takes you longer than you think it's going to. So I'm going to get this side welded up, and that may be all that gets done tonight. Alright guys, as per normal, I did not get as far as I wanted to get tonight, but I did get this welded up. I went ahead and welded down that seam anyway, kind of negated all the work of trying to bend it, but now I know that is nice and strong. I welded this kind of hot. It's really thick stuff. There's very low chance of warping it, and if it gets warped a little bit, where it's going, it's not going to matter that much. So other thing is, I think I'm going to run out of argon this weekend if I don't get some tomorrow. So I need to go ahead and get the tank unhooked and prepare to carry it with me and carry it with me in the morning. So we'll let this paint dry and get this argon tank, and we'll come back to this tomorrow. Alright guys, I got a light out in this corner of the shop, and I can't seem to get the lighting where anything can, you know, where you can see anything. So I got this, the inner part of the seal welded in. I need to make this part next. I've actually need to finish up the body mount bracket. I need to finish that up and get it welded up at the front, and probably going to do all that tomorrow. I'm going to go get a shower and get ready to go to work in the morning, and then I'll be back tomorrow afternoon and do some more work. Something I wanted to show you is if you paint the panel and then drill spot weld holes, you can take and sharpen, or not sharpen, but cut off a drill bit, and I just ground it off on my bench grinder and use it to cut the paint off the back side of the weld hole, so you won't be spot welding paint. So like I said, I'll be back tomorrow afternoon when I get home from work. Alright guys, we're back out here on Sunday. I ended up working longer yesterday than I thought I would. So, and Friday night I was just getting to the point where my brain wasn't going to let me get anything done. So I went ahead and chopped this piece off, which is the bottom of the B-pillar on the other side, on the inside part of it. And this is going to be a little more complicated. I kind of wish I'd left more on the new bottom rocker panel instead of chopping it off like I did, but you know, it is what it is. We're gonna press on. We're gonna get this thing straightened out. I'm gonna make this out of 3 pieces. I'm not gonna worry about making this channel right here for that. There's like some sort of a hard cardboard piece or something that runs down there. I'm not sure if it's felt or what. Looks like probably how they attach the body panels. We're not going to worry about those because, you know, we're just not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this piece, and I'm going to make this piece, and I'm going to make this piece. So this piece is going to be made out of 3 pieces of metal. We're not going to get complicated. We're just going to chop it out of some pieces of metal and rock on. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, all I did was cut off a piece of metal. It was slightly wide enough to make a bend back into the car like that, and just take this weird shape out right here where that piece of felt or hard cardboard or whatever it is they use there, and I'm gonna slice this edge here, put it back in the brake, and bend me a 90. Now, what I just realized was I did not leave enough to make this full length going down, but that's not a problem. I'm gonna bend it, then I'm gonna bend that and add another piece to it, and we're gonna call it good. You know, this is inside the car, this is not the body, so nobody's ever gonna see this except for whoever watches the videos, and you're just trying to you're just trying to see how I fix my car. I mean, essentially. So I'm gonna get this done and I'll come back. Alright guys, I've spent a really long time this afternoon getting this quarter panel and the rocker panel fitting in the car. I got everything laying in the doorway. I had to close it, but I'm not mad at the gap. So what, I haven't got this piece welded in yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take and make me a piece to just weld down from that. Actually, I can probably just weld it across and it will be fine. I'm going to leave, I want to pull everything back apart, get the inside of this painted up to the point where, well, at least the rocker panel, because I won't be able to paint inside the rocker panel once I get it welded in. But I'm going to weld this into place so that the inner seal is not able to move, and then I'm going to take it back apart and finish making the shape that's supposed to be. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's a, I'll go show you the other one. There's a shape that's kind of like it's a bend, and then it's a bend back the other way, and it curves around on this that I want to make to add the strength. And that's what I'm gonna do. I could have just cut that off, but I mean, I got it out, it's rusty, so let's go ahead and make that. I'm gonna make that part. I'm gonna get that rocker where it won't move. Then I'm gonna come in and make this, and we're gonna pull the other side apart and get ready to get prepared to weld the rocker panel in and do the fender well on it. So we'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, I got that piece welded in. It ain't pretty. I got some more pieces to fix. It says I need to delete some footage, so I'm gonna do that and get this rest of this put in, and I'll come back. Alright guys, I got this I got this back in here. Got a lot of Bondo in this corner we got to think about, but I'm gonna worry about that. I need to get something to strip that out. I'm gonna go ahead, actually I need to strip that Bondo out before I get too crazy, but with this running in, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and tack this panel in and prepare to do the cut and butt. I don't think I'm gonna feel like doing that tonight. I'm just gonna work a little while longer, maybe get some of these spot welds in. I've got to cut out a piece of metal and make this piece to go right here, and get that welded in. And we're into short rows on this. Then I'm gonna have to come back here, see what kind of crap is up in this area. There's probably Bondo way up in here where they arch these fender wells. You can see how much was arched to clear those tires. I measured from this bead down to the bottom of the skirt on both sides. I mean, down to the bottom of the fender on both sides. It's the same. I did my best to measure from here to here, but those are sloping angles, so it's really hard. But they're very close to the same, so I'm gonna say it's the same as the other side. So, like I said, I'm gonna work on this just a little while longer tonight, and I'll come back tomorrow. This is gonna end up being a really long video, but I want to go ahead and get these fenders done and this rocker in, and then we'll be done with that part. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hey guys, it's Monday, back in the shop. I got the small welder out, and I'm using it to try to weld this panel in, trying to control the heat as much as possible. I'm still making one pass of tacks, and it's still wanting to sink in a little bit. Fortunately, all of this can be got to from the back side, so it's easy to dolly that out. Once I get the fender well out on the other side, I'm hoping I'll be able to dolly the other side out. What I had planned to do tonight was make this fender extension, and it should be the same as the other side was, but I don't have enough. Wait a minute, maybe I do. Oh shoot! Oh hell! There it is. There's my other pack of cardboard that I was going to make. So maybe that's what I'll get into. Like I said, I'm letting this cool off. I mean, really cool, and just taking my time. If it takes a few days to get this tacked in, that's great. I have the spot welds done underneath the bottom of the car. They don't look great. My upside down welding is horrendous. So I'm going to find some tape a couple of pieces of cardboard together, or poster board together, and make an outline of what the shape of that fender is, so hopefully we can get this side close. I mean, it's not really going to matter because I've got to make fender skirts. I've said this before, I don't like the skirts that are available, so we're going to be making the fender skirts to go on this car. I've never done that, so that's going to be fun. Another thing is, I ground all the Bondo out yesterday. There's a massive low spot right there. You can see how they put that lip in there. They just bent a piece of metal over and brazed it to the car. So I don't know if they created this low spot with the heat from the torch or what, but that's something we're gonna have to work out from the back side whenever we get the fender well out. So that's what I'm going to work on next. I'm going to get some poster board, make a template, and then we're going to make this piece to go in right here. And then probably tomorrow night, I'm planning on getting that inner fender well out. Alright guys, I got this template made. I actually found the template that I cut this piece out for the other side, and I just cut a piece, left a little bit on top so I could do the cutting butt, and marked it along the bottom, and as you can see is within about 1/8 of where the template landed when I put the template on the car. So I got that tacked into place. All I did with this was I went through the wheel a couple of times in both directions real light. Actually, I went too heavy to begin with, and then took some of the crown back out of it, went back through the wheel in the opposite direction and took some of the crown out of it. I'm not by any means a professional at running the wheel. I think it's a very interesting tool. There's a lot of learning for me left to do, and you know, I would suggest anybody get one if you want to play with metal in that kind of way. So anyway, I'm going to get this taken apart, get it cut out, make sure everything looks like it fits like it's supposed to, make sure I'm going to mark the template, make sure the template fits like it's supposed to, and we're going to cut and butt it in there. So anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got this side cut in, the extension piece to fill in that wheel arch. I'm going to stop this video right here. I've got to do a little work down here to put this lip in. I'm probably going to tack it from the outside, but I'm going to weld it from the inside before I shape it. I want to get the fender wells out so I can try to work this dent out. I don't know if y'all can see that dent, but it's pretty deep. Grab a, hang on a minute. That's still not really showing how deep it is. It's got a weird shape to it. So it's about 1/8 of an inch deep there. And it's also got a low spot through here and a low spot through here. And I want to try to dolly those out before I weld this 100% in case I need to split it and open it back up. That's it for this one, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna take out the fender wells and try to dolly those dents out and make sure that the panel doesn't need to be shrank before I continue welding it, in case I need to, you know, split it and take some of the seam out to shrink the panel down. It'll be easier than heating it. Well, you know, heating it probably wouldn't be that hard. So that's what's coming up. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the fender wells out and as much of the floor out as I need to get the rear end as far up as it can go, or it needs to go, and go ahead and start building the notches. I need to think about what the body needs to hold the body in place to keep it from moving, and that's kind of where I'm stuck at. I'm just trying to think about bracing it, whether it needs to be braced, because I mean, with the fender well out of the car and the entire floor out of the car, there's nothing there to keep it from. I don't think it's gonna move because it's gonna have all the body mounts still in it, but I just want to make sure it doesn't move. Anyway, that's it. Like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll have the follow-up to this video on Sunday, or the next part of working on this car on Sunday. So I'll see y'all later. Have a good day.